Most Americans, I believe, are kind people, and now there is a way to turn kindness and good deeds into a kind of currency. Now, that's not why we should do good things, but if good can be shared, there'll be more of it. Intrigued? Here's Ralph Nader. Ralph?
Thanks, Bill. When most of us think of going to the bank, it's probably to deposit or receive money. Well, why not take that thought a step further and consider another kind of bank? A place where you deposit care and giving and then earn the care and giving of others in return. That's exactly the concept being put to the test in a number of cities across the country. It's receiving a lot of interest, helping thousands of people get services they couldn't otherwise afford. Here's Joel Loy with the story.
Money, money, money. Money, money, money.
This is the way most of us think of doing business. Passing the buck is how we get what we want and need. And while it's a system that seems to work for most of us, bottom line is, with the cost of living today, it can be easy to feel shortchanged. It's a problem that affects not only the poor, but more and more of us, especially as we reach retirement. Fixed incomes mean limited cash flow, and that can often mean doing without to make ends meet. Attorney Edgar Cahn thought there had to be a better way.
We had people here and needs here and no way of putting the two together at a time when federal funds were going to be cut back. And so I asked myself, why can't we create another kind of money to put people and social needs together?
And so he did. Cahn created a way of putting America's aging population back to work by capitalizing on its wealth of experience. Instead of exchanging money, seniors like Daisy Alexander exchange volunteer time. Help a neighbor, and down the line, a neighbor will help you.
What is this? A goat?
Daisy spends up to 6 hours a week tutoring children at this Miami public school.
I teach them math and drawing and writing and the ABCs, and I explain to them about the different colors.
Besides the personal gratification of helping others, Daisy earns an hour of credit for every hour she volunteers. The credits are deposited at South Shore Hospital in a sort of computer savings bank. Then, when Daisy needs help, she can withdraw them.
Mrs. Alexander, es Pepe. ¿Cómo está?
Today, Daisy Alexander is cashing in. Another friend-to-friend volunteer, Pepe Rubal, is taking Daisy food shopping, a task he'll also earn credits for. We asked Daisy what she'd do if there weren't someone like Pepe out there.
Well, that's a big question. I really don't know. Before Pepe, I had paid some neighbors to take me shopping.
Deja ver si me puedo, porque es que como yo no... Sabes que my English is no good, pero yo...
You're a good amigo.
Pepe speaks only Spanish, Daisy only English, yet somehow they manage to find a common language. And perhaps that's what's most amazing about Miami's credit program, the unusual friendships it's fostered among Hispanics and blacks in this racially divided city.
It's not just a matter of converting time into dollars. It's really a matter of converting strangers into friends, and neighbors into extended family, to rebuilding community, rebuilding the sense of family and caring for each other.
That sense of family has been the greatest reward for Pepe and his wife, Thelma, who also volunteers in the Friend-to-Friend program.
Before, I don't know I can do it, because I was isolated in my home with Pepe, watching TV. I don't do nothing else. Now we do it. We go over there to the mill site, and we have a lunch with that people. And this is great, really.
In fact, it seems as though most people who participate in service credit programs, at least initially, get involved more for the friendships than the credits. That's definitely what motivated widow Dorothy Gottschall, who belongs to a program in Brooklyn, New York.
Unfortunately, most of my older friends have passed on, so and I have met a great deal of nice people. This is for Mimi.
Gottschall offers companionship and peer counseling to Barbara McCaffrey, who is housebound with emphysema.
Oh, it's a godsend to me. At least I can talk to her and tell her if there's anything bothering me. And she's understanding. She's very nice.
McCaffrey and Gottschall are members of Elder Plan. Run by a health maintenance organization, it offers its credit volunteers a 25% discount on their health premiums.
And that's an extra benefit. But that is not really the major part. I do it because I really started now. I really enjoy it now.
A few service credit programs are attempting to reach out to a younger generation. In Miami's Little Havana, seniors help to staff a free daycare center so mothers like Angela Alvara can work.
If I wouldn't have it, I wouldn't be able to work, and I would have to go to welfare. I really like it because, they're grandmothers and things like that, so I know that she's taking care of it very well.
Miami's Friend to Friend program recently held a party to honor the more than 600 senior volunteers who banked more than 80,000 credits. Unlike traditional volunteer programs that lose about half their members, the Friend to Friend program proudly boasts a dropout rate of only 3%.
The credits seem to be a validation of their sense of self-worth. The credits seem to say, what you do is appreciated and valued, and the numbers take on a meaning of their own.
If nothing else, it seems to prove there are some things that money just can't buy.
Ralph, that program looks like it's very effective. Can it be applied on a broader basis?
Bill, that's all part of Edgar Cahn's vision, to use the barter system to strengthen social services for all ages. For example, it can be used for repairing housing, tutoring in the schools, caring for latchkey kids, and shopping services for the disabled. The possibilities are unlimited.
Where can we get more information on this?
If you want more information, just send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Time Dollar, Post Office Box 19367, 19367, Washington, D.C., 20036.
Interesting report, Ralph. Thank you.
Recently, as I'm sure you'll recall, the President's Summit on Volunteerism kicked off a nationwide campaign aimed at getting Americans to donate their time and talents for a good cause. Well, many in this country already give generously of themselves, but the problem of how to motivate others remains. Recently, we met one man who thinks that he might have an answer, and it lies in a system that offers the giver some very tangible rewards.
These are the new tomatoes. I don't like them. They're potatoes.
Clara Feinberg is in her 80s and has trouble getting around. Rhoda Cohen enjoys doing volunteer work. 2 years ago, a social HMO in Brooklyn named Elder Plan got the two of them together.
How about eggs?
Now, once a week, Rhoda helps Clara run errands. Rhoda gets satisfaction from helping, but she also gets something else. For every hour Rhoda spends volunteering, she earns one time dollar, which is entered on this computer. Rhoda can then spend those time dollars on services offered by other volunteers. Mashi Bleck is the program coordinator.
We have teams of volunteers who specialize in specific areas. Rhoda requested a home repair. Angelo Furio was matched with Rhoda to provide this service. The time dollars earned by Angelo providing this service will be deducted from Rhoda's time dollar account.
You're a whiz. It took me so short. A wonderful time. Oh, wonderful.
We've created a place where people can come and bring their skills, and they can also count on each other to know that they can get help when they need it.
Down to your chest.
Nearly 70 communities in over 30 states have time dollar systems. In Brooklyn, volunteers earn time dollars by teaching this arthritis workshop, while in Washington, D.C., time dollars can be used to pay for Spanish lessons.
People right now have to choose between helping others and looking out for themselves. This is a way of looking out for yourself by looking out for others.
Professor Edgar Cahn of the D.C. School of Law created the time dollar concept.
Time dollars is both an information system that tells you who's available, whom you can trust, and it also makes it okay to ask for help because you're going to pay back. Ever since we put time dollar software on the internet so that community groups could download it free, it's begun to spring up all over the place.
Somebody in there got you.
At this housing project in D.C., Adam Williams earns time dollars by providing daycare for a neighbor's child. He can then spend those time dollars at a community food bank. And in Chicago, Andrew Jones is one of nearly 1,000 students taking part in a time dollar peer tutoring program.
D. What's the sign of D? The upper grade students, they tutor the younger students. You know, help them build up their skills better.
What's the prefix on this one?
Every day that you come after school, you get one time dollar. And once you work up to 100 time dollars, then you get a free computer. Now I got my computer, I'm not going to quit. It's very much worth it. You should just see the faces on those little kids when they're like, oh, I got this, I got that, and oh, now I know how to do it.
That's where the long hand goes.
A community will hear about it, read about it, they'll call us up and we'll work with them. It's really a strategy that they can use to fulfill their dreams and their objectives.
Edgar Cahn hopes that time dollar systems will help reconnect communities. But Clara Feinberg says she's just happy to have found a friend.
She's always got that smile, greets me with a smile. I love her. That's true. She's wonderful.
I'll see you next week.
But I would say more friends than volunteer.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News reported by Brian Williams.
The city of St. Louis, it is possible for someone to find a job, work very hard, turn in a week of real work for no pay. There is compensation, but it's different, and in a way, they're also paying something back. NBC's Jim Avila reports tonight on a new use of the barter system.
Lawrence Thurman does not have a paying job.
I want the headphones go that way.
But he is working and earning more than self-respect.
Neighbors helping neighbors is very beneficiary.
For every hour he spends doing chores for neighbors, Lawrence earns make-believe money called time dollars, which he can spend on services from other neighbors or buy donated merchandise from the church store.
It lets people know, regardless of what it is that you have to offer, you're special because you can do this.
The barter-style program may be an answer to the dilemma facing all of America's inner cities. The new federal welfare law mandates that anyone on assistance find a job, but those same rules say that working for time dollars qualifies. And what participants especially like is that they're working in their own neighborhoods.
This is meaningful work. This is real work. So the jobs may not be there in the marketplace, but the work that needs to be done in our communities exists.
Mothers on welfare provide child care for one another, solving a problem which severely limits a single mother's ability to work.
I like to watch kids, and they always ask me to watch their kids stuck, and they give me more time dollars.
She did a babysitting service for like 4 or 5 hours. That's just four time dollars.
The jobs and time spent are documented by computer.
I'll come and give you your groceries.
Things like trips to the store for the elderly, daycare, cleanup duty, and cooking. Last year, 3,000 jobless people worked 45,000 hours.
It clearly dispels the myth that people on welfare are incompetent, lazy, unable to solve their own problems.
States from Maine to Colorado are watching this St. Louis experiment, which is creating a sense of community and a sense of optimism. Jim Avila, NBC News.
To eke out the potential in people and see what they can offer to the community and each other.
You give some hours and then you get things back according to what you need.
And I think it's brilliant because an hour of someone's time is equal to an hour of someone else's time, whatever they're doing.
Instead of having money exchange hands or gifts.
They're making time into currency, basically.
I think that's basically all it is, to help people.
And if you do something for somebody, it helps to get that bond going.
People get together, but they both gain. It's a two-way thing.
So it's encouraging good neighbours, as we used to do years ago.
A time bank is a means to exchange time and skills in your local area.
Erin walked into this office one day and said, I've got some time to spare, can I do some volunteering? The first thing I did was jump on her for the escort for school because the children would respond to her very well.
Right, gang, are we ready to get these kids? Let's go.
It's like being the lollipop lady, but walking with the kids the whole way from school to the centre. There are usually two of us trying to keep them in pairs to bring them back safely crossing the road and then back here. It just, I suppose, put me in a place where I could find out more what was happening. And I spoke to Anne, and she let me know about the things that are happening in Timebank and just how it works.
Some people don't know they've got skills. Some people say things like, oh, I don't know what I could offer. All these things are skills. It's up to the broker to really know who they've got in their bank, so you can eke out the potential in people and see what they can offer to the community and each other.
For every hour you spend helping someone in a time bank, you receive 1 time credit. Erin earned time credits doing the walking bus and spent those credits in a poetry workshop.
Anywhere else you probably would be charged something for being in a class which is being led by a published poet.
What you have here sometimes are natural assonance.
And we pay Tessa with our time credits. And then to gain credits, again, I will go out with the group and we'll go and read poems.
A cocktail of nations in that sleepless tin pot.
I'm probably the youngest person there, and it goes right up to like 80s or something, which is good because it means it's inclusive to lots of people.
Be thankful I'm geriatric, with legs that have lost their spring. Otherwise, I think, my friends, you would have a different song to sing. Especially that nice fat blackbird so busily filling his tum. If I were younger, he'd be filling mine. Ooh, wouldn't that be fun?
Through her time bank activities and meeting Anne, Erin found out about a full-time job.
A job opportunity came vacant in the community centre, and she applied for it along with others. When we saw her time bank form, she was more than qualified.
And then we can get your details on this. My job is to look after the learners who come here. You meet people who are probably your neighbours, and just seeing where they are at and that you can give them something, you can help them in some way and just encourage them in their learning.
Plastic bottles, glass bottles and cans.
Time banking is a great way to reward valuable work that often goes unnoticed, such as the recycle pick organised by Kirsty.
Okay.
You're counting?
Yeah.
Oh, blood.
166. Okay, wow, 16.86.
Okay. All done? Please, write it down.
330.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Write it down.
I should come in.
Thank you for organising it, Kirsty.
Time banks can help provide local support for the more vulnerable in society.
Somebody with obsessive compulsive disorder, for example, what this person wanted was somebody to offload to.
Basically, I felt like I was really struggling. At times I felt completely kind of out of my depth.
And then you remember, I've got a listener that's patient, who genuinely wants to sit and help that person.
Yes, no, absolutely.
It's trying to listen to people and trying to understand needs more than sort of the surface level of things.
The relationship we've built up over time, and I feel I can gain a better perspective on where I've been and kind of where I'm going.
It simplifies things and can put more meaning into your work if you know that what you're doing is for the person next door. I think it slightly changed my attitude towards what work is and what work can be.
Time banking is about give and take, but you don't have to earn time credits before you can spend them. As Claire found out when she visited a cycle maintenance workshop.
that's the point.
I've got a couple of bikes and I don't really know how to maintain them.
If it was rubbing, you'd soon hear it. But your wheels nice and straight.
Then I always just take it to a bike shop and pay for somebody to do it. So now I might get Allen keys and start doing a bit myself.
The time banks are very needs-led, you know, so it's you telling us what you need and you telling us what you enjoy doing.
Time banks are open to everyone and it's completely free to join. A time bank can provide the perfect link to connect with the skills available in local organisations.
I currently do cycle training to young people around Islington as a cycling officer.
I want to be able to cycle to work.
Yep.
I don't know the route of how to do it yet.
But what I'm thinking is regarding the time bank is I'd take you out to the route that you want to go on. We start at the beginning, just work through the whole route.
That feels quite far away from the cars actually.
You are quite far away, but you've got to protect yourself, so...
Practice a few different manoeuvres that I wouldn't have been confident in trying before, sort of coming out into the middle of the road and turning right, for instance.
The position we want to be in for a right turn is pretty much towards the central line, exactly. So, checking behind as you go. Give a signal. And then, just before you turn, one last look over your shoulder, call it the lifesaver look.
There's a few different avenues it could go. There's myself being able to train people within the time bank. Also maybe Claire could be a cycling buddy to someone. Then she could even earn her own credits that way.
I've filled in the application and so I can give some time as well. It's quite difficult to think of what time you want to receive back from someone else, and we would never have thought of this. It just came out of the bike workshop and it's been really, really ideal.
Time banks can be located anywhere, and its possibilities are only limited by our imaginations. As head teacher Wendy discovered with the introduction of an innovative approach to time banking.
With the buddy bench, it's formalised the situation where there's always a space where you can be looked after, and there's always someone to do it.
Buddy bench is a place where young children, if they're upset or alone, can go to.
It's a bench where people can go if something's happened in the playground or somebody said something to them.
It helps in resolving any of the conflicts that they might have in the playground.
Buddy bench helpers normally have a red band on that goes across them. So then if anybody sits on the bench, they go to them and they ask them, what's wrong, what can we do to help?
Hey son, what's the matter? Charlotte, I don't want to play with me. Let me just go find Charlotte. Come here a sec.
I was having water and then she came and pushed me.
She pushed me first and I pushed her back. Is this true, Seven? But did you push her? Yeah. Who did it first?
Charlotte.
If someone was upset over something, the buddy bench would try and do a peace path, which is they get the person that's been upsetting the other person and they ask what they want, and then the person repeats that and say what they want, and the other person repeats that, and then so on until they find a good solution. Okay, why don't we do the peace path, okay? How are you feeling, Seven? Good. How about you, Charlotte? So you're both feeling upset, and what would you two like as the solution? Charlotte?
Maybe reach over and shake hands. Maybe reach over and shake hands.
Then what are you waiting for? Shake hands and apologise.
Sorry.
Now, go and play.
There's less issues in the playground now for definite. If you do a specific amount of time, then like at the end of the term or something, you go on a trip.
The children who've been in the buddy bench, their time is sort of banked into a pool, and so they then get a trip out.
We've been on hikes, bowling.
Like Miss Meredith right now, she's saving up so we can all go horse riding.
It just helps to develop an all-round individual, and the kind of people that we want our children to grow up to be. helpful, supportive. Yeah, there for each other.
It's just old-fashioned community spirit, helping your neighbour, helping each other. But you also gain from it. You gain experience. You gain, you gain friendships, and with the view to possibly having a job, having a future, doing things that you never thought you would do, trying things out for the first time, getting an opportunity to experiment where your skills lie, because that's a hard thing to do. If you want to come and genuinely help in the community, help each other, the ideal way to do it is in a time bank.